Hi, it's me, Graham Martin. I'm the recruitment guy with another video in this series about how to deal with things during COVID-19 crisis. I'm here today at my home in Enfield, North London, wearing my Hawaiian shirt and with my dog Molly, who's having a little snooze next to me, which has been out for an essential walk. So today I want to talk about how to deal with your schedule. Now, it doesn't matter, irrespective of whether you're working from home for someone, whether you are a student studying, whether you are a homemaker, whether you are somebody that's working for yourself, or maybe you're actually actively looking for a job, or maybe you've been, as they say in the UK, furloughed, so you're not actually working, you're at home and you're on a reduced salary and you've got some time on your hands. Now, I do know, having spoken to a lot of people, they've taken the early part of this isolation period as a bit of a holiday perhaps. But now I think the reality is dawning upon them that we might be in for 2-3 months of isolation. I don't know what that means to you, whether you're in Canada, Australia, South America, New Zealand or the US, or as I am in the UK. Different people will be in different territories and there'll be different rules that we're applying. What I do believe is that when things change, it's not going to just happen overnight. It's going to be like a dimmer switch, in the same way in the UK has slowly dimmed things down, if you like, so that we've gone from being careful to actually being isolated at home. I think that when things come back again, they're going to turn it up slowly, bit by bit by bit. You won't be able to go out and have mass meetings. So from a mindset point of view, from a mental toughness and mental health point of view, I believe that it's going to make a big difference if you actually have a schedule. So what I started to do a couple of weeks ago was, using a good old-fashioned Excel spreadsheet, I created a list of things that I needed to get done within the day. Now, it didn't necessarily mean that every day I was going to do every single thing, but what it did mean was that I could check things off. So I was putting the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and once I'd done something, I coloured it in green. And also, working for myself, of course, I've got a bit more flexibility than a lot of people, but if I had a plan to do, let's say, a dog walk at a certain time, obviously only for a limited period of time, I might move things around based upon the weather. If it's suddenly it stopped raining and it looks sunny, well then I'd take Molly out for a walk and we'd benefit from that. So having that flexibility, I think, is really, really important. The other thing that I've done is I've fine-tuned it. So I've discovered some radio plays on at a certain time that I'm fortunate enough that I can build that into my schedule. Now, I don't like all of the plays. I've tried some, I like some, others I don't. So if I'm not going to listen to that play, what else am I going to do instead? In terms of your work, I'm sure your employers are going to give you a very, very clearly defined idea of what they want you to get accomplished. But if they don't, build the schedule yourself. What time are you waking up in the morning? Are you having some exercise? What time are you having breakfast? Are you going to read the papers, watch the TV? You do some yoga, as I do upstairs. What are you doing in the early part of the day? Build some structure. Now, I appreciate some of you have got partners, some have got family, children, elderly family members or friends in your household, other people you need to care for. I can't exactly respond to his particular situation, of course, because there's millions of people out there and every case is unique. But I think having a kind of a routine is good for you, that you can kind of tick off at the end of the day and say, yes, I accomplished today what I hope to achieve. Now, they might only be little quick wins. They might be things that perhaps that before wouldn't have made much of a difference to your sense of completion of the day, your self-satisfaction. But I do think that right now, those little quick wins, those little tasks are very, very important. Now, I have a dear friend called Mark, and Mark was in the HR sector and was made redundant. Now, this would have been over a year ago, and what Mark's approach was that he would work tirelessly, almost day and night. He'd be getting up very early in the morning, so he was at his laptop at 8:30. He was using LinkedIn. Let me just get a drink. He was using LinkedIn to reach out to prospective employers, building his network and so forth. But what Mark didn't do was he didn't take any advantage of, at that time, occasionally really, really good weather. And I said to him, look, why don't you use an opportunity in your lunch hour to go out for 15 minutes, 20 minutes and go in the garden and do some pruning or whatever it was that might have interested somebody else. His was the garden. And he said, no, I need to be focused on this so much that I'm not prepared to have any fun at all until I get a job. Well, he did get a job. It took him about 4 months, and subsequently his garden is nice and tidy, but actually he let things go. So whilst if you're looking for work, or whether you're running your own business and you're really trying to squeeze every ounce out of every opportunity, don't forget to look after yourself, your own sense of well-being. Excuse me. I drink red berry teas, and I've got a mug here that says a warm juice from a very dear friend of mine. A warm juice indeed. So my friend Mark, he let his garden grow and go a bit wild during this 3-4 month period of time. Sure, at the weekends he'd get out there a little bit, but he still didn't allow himself the joy of getting into the garden. So if you've got these things in your life, whatever they happen to be, maybe some arts or some music or modern dance, well, you can do it online with people, can't you? Just make sure you build into your schedule some fun aspects, okay? And I've just coloured them in green. And at the bottom, excuse me, so I can keep an eye on everything in one place, I've got some projects that I'm working on. So for me, I'm painting the front door at the moment. The weather's not particularly great, but I've got the first 2 coats on, wet and dry between them, and rather than rushing the job, I'm taking the time to do it really, really properly, because I think a lot of people rush around the house, around the flat, the property, and they'll do those little DIY jobs really quickly. Well, I think you should build it into your schedule. So I have week 1, week 2, week 3, so I know for the next 12 weeks pretty much what I'm going to be doing at certain times of the day. And for someone like me, I need that structure. You might not, but a lot of people really do, particularly if they're used to going to work and suddenly find themselves at home. The other thing I do within my schedule is I've built a list of people that I want to talk to and I need to talk to. And I think if people are at home, they're going to appreciate, rather than an email, as much as possible, picking up your phone and actually having a chat. Maybe getting a headset on, walking around the house, doing whatever you might want to do at the same time, but actually building in that time to talk to people. So I've got clients, and most of my clients I know really well, so they're kind of client friends. Talking to some people looking for work through Recruitment Guy and through my recruitment agency, Orchard in North London. But also my friends and family members, because it's very easy for the week just to pass and you haven't spoken to a few key people. Now I remember my late mother lived on her own for some time before she was hospitalised, and she said to me that the greatest pleasure she had was talking to people, and the joy she had when people would ring her spontaneously and say, "Hi Joyce, how are you?" And we'd be on the phone. She used to be on the phone for about an hour every day to her best friend Patsy. And I used to say, "What are you talking about?" She said, "Oh, just anything and everything." It was just that mutual ability to connect with people. So we can't meet people out in the park, we can't go to restaurants or clubs or exhibitions or anything else, but we can start to talk to more people on the phone. So that's a really, really firm recommendation for me, is to build into your schedule the time to have fun, the time to read for pleasure, the time to read for knowledge, to learn new courses, but also to engage, pick up the phone and talk to people. Maybe talk to people you haven't spoken to for some time, even years perhaps. If they say go away because I haven't spoken to you for a couple of years, well fine, what have you lost? A little bit of telephone time, but they might be thrilled you've made the time to pick up the phone and have a conversation. So that's it from me, the recruitment guy, Graham Martin. If you want to engage with me, very easy to do so. You can either post a comment here below, or you can email me help@therecruitmentguy.com. So I'll see you again, at which point we'll probably be talking about looking at your CV and getting it match ready, match fit, to reflect the fact that AI increasingly is going to be doing the first look at your CV. Then we'll talk about LinkedIn as well at some point. So keep safe, keep well, keep fit, keep sane, and see if you can put together a little schedule. And don't worry if you don't follow it absolutely to the letter, that's fine. It's a guideline, it gives you something to work with, and be flexible. I'll see you again. Bye.